Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video we will be learning about the formation of three-dimensional objects by revolving the two-dimensional objects, how they can be formed, and this we will see practically means by the demonstration also. The first one here is cylinder. By revolving a rectangular sheet we can understand the formation of a cylinder. See, suppose we have a rectangular sheet A, B, C, D, the length of which is L and the breadth is B. If we revolve it about its length, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, we will find that a cylinder is formed. When we form this cylinder, what we find, this length of the sheet will be acting as the height of the cylinder, and the breadth, you can see here very well because this is a circular part, this will be acting as the radius of the cylinder. This we will see by the demonstration of the practical just now. The second case may be if we revolve the same sheet about its breadth. If we revolve it about the breadth, what we see, a cylinder is formed again, but the height of this cylinder will be equal to the breadth of the sheet. So breadth here will be as the height of the cylinder, and the length will be as the radius of the cylinder. How to find out curved surface area, total surface area and volume, etc. we will be learning in detail in the next videos. We will learn about all these solids which we are going to learn in this video in detail in the next coming videos. See the demonstration now how this particular thing is done. See, we have here a rectangular sheet. If we hold it lengthwise and along the length we revolve it, then a cylinder is formed. You can see it practically. See, this is the rotation of this particular sheet lengthwise, means along the length. If we are rotating is along the length, you can see a cylinder is formed, and this cylinder you are finding that the breadth becomes the radius and the length becomes the height of it. Very well, very clearly you can see the formation of the cylindrical three-dimensional figure. But if we revolve the same sheet along the breadth, you can see that again a cylindrical figure is formed. You can see a cylindrical object. This is revolved about the breadth. At this time you will find the length of this becomes the radius and the breadth becomes the height of the cylindrical form. You can see here the cylinder is formed. The second one is to understand how to form a cone or a double cone. If we take a triangular sheet, generally we take a right angle triangle, or this is a sheet which is forming a right angle triangle, that is ABC. B is the right angle. Sides of it are A and B, and the hypotenuse is C. If we revolve this about any one of the sides which are other than the hypotenuse, then we find a cone, single cone is formed like this. Here we find that this side A will be equal to the radius of it, so A will be equal to the radius of it, and B will be equal to the height of the cone. C will be the slant height. The second case we may have the same triangular sheet if we revolve about the hypotenuse, either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. Here we see that this hypotenuse is forming two cones. One is on the upper part of it, another is on the lower part of it. Here what we find, The hypotenuse is acting as the sum of the heights of these two cones. Suppose the height of the upper cone is h1 and the lower cone is h2. Then this C, which is equal to AC, will be equal to h1 plus h2, sum of the heights of it. And radii of both the cones will be equal to the altitude of this particular triangle. So altitude here will be acting as the radius of each of the cone. What about A and B? A and B will be the slant heights of both the cones. A will be L1 suppose and B is L2. These are the slant heights. How it is done we can see practically just now. Now this is the triangular sheet we have. If we do it along any of the side like this, suppose this is a right angle triangle, along any of the side except the hypotenuse, we revolve it. When we revolve it, a single cone will be formed. Let's see practically how it is formed. See here, this is the triangle now, and this triangle is being rotated. You can see clearly that the cone is formed. This side will be forming the radius of this, and the another side will be the height of this particular cone. You can very well see the cone is formed. Same triangular sheet, if we revolve along the hypotenuse, you will find a double cone is formed. See here how it is practically done. You can see here this is being revolved along the hypotenuse, and we are finding two cones are formed. One is in the upper side, one is in the lower side of it. The sum of the heights of both the cones will be this hypotenuse. You can very well see two cones are here. So like this, by revolving the triangular sheet along the side, we can form only a single cone. But along the hypotenuse, we are finding that double cone is formed. Next is the formation of a sphere. A sphere actually can be understood by revolving one of the circular sheet. If we revolve one of the circular sheet about any of its diameter, then we will find a sphere is formed. You will see it easily by looking at the practical. Here we find that the radius of the sphere which is formed will be same as the radius of this circular sheet. And the next comes hemisphere. This is by revolving a semicircular sheet. If we take a semicircular sheet of radius r and revolve it about its one of the radius which is perpendicular to the base, or you can say perpendicular to the diameter, then what we find, a hemisphere is formed like this. Here again we find that the radius of this will be same as the radius of the sheet. This also you can see by the practical now. If we take a circular sheet, you can see here this is circular sheet. If we revolve it along any of the diameter of it, we will find a sphere is formed. You see it practically now. Suppose this is, you see, this is being rotated or revolved along the diameter, and you are clearly finding that a spherical figure is formed. So a sphere is formed by revolving a circular sheet along its diameter. Even if you find a coin and revolve it on the ground, vertically standing position, you will find a spherical figure is formed. If we take a semicircular sheet, you can see here this is semicircular sheet. If we revolve it along one of its radius, that is vertical radius, then what we find, a hemisphere is formed. We can see it practically here. If I revolve it along one of the vertical radius, see here, this is a hemisphere formed. You can see it from this side also. So hemisphere is formed by revolving a semicircular sheet. I hope that this must have been an easy way to understand the formation of cylinder, cone, sphere, hemisphere and double cone by revolving the sheets and looking at the things practically. If you have not subscribed the channel so far, subscribe it to get more videos on different concepts of mathematics. In the next video, we will learn about the concepts, about the formulae on the rectangular part of 3D, that is cuboid and cube. We will learn how to find out its surface area, total surface area, volume, etc. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any comments or doubts, leave them in the comment box and I will get back to you.